Heart on the run, keeps a hand on the gun. You can't trust anyone.
You're listening to WeP3 Radio on the Foxhole Radio Network.
Well, I was so sure
Mike Donnell,
what I needed
cover me up.
was more. I tried to shoot out the sun. The days when we raged, we flew off the page. Such damage was done. But I made it through. Somebody knew I was meant for someone. So girl, leave your boots by the bed. Left your left, left, right, your left. You got it.
Trucker.
Dockers, roll out. You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
To put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission, you have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the WeP3 team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, left, right, your left. You got it.
Trucker.
Good evening. It is the second day of June. It's a new month. It's a fresh new start. I am Andrea Eichmann here with the People's Patriot Project, and we are bringing you our 203rd episode of We've Got Your 6 at 6. Every week we bring you a guest, and many times we bring a new artist, and then we share all the good and not so good things that are happening in our world. This week, we will visit with Korey Shaffer of Til Valhalla project. Tonight's episode is featured by our sponsor, Bottle Breacher Mike Wall, Catch 22, Derek Iozio, Operation Texas Strong, Bobby and Peggy Kretzinger. Really, one quick second. And we have got as well Contagion Effect with Eric Mello. And then we have our very own Kimmer Gwinner, who is here tonight with a quick word to share. I'm putting you on the spot, Miss Kimmer.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everybody. It's already Sunday night, and it's time for the live stream. All is feeling so right as we become full of gleam. We got your 6 at 6 with People's Patriot Project, where we will intermix and try to leave you with a positive aspect. I can't wait to share a couple of poems I wrote, because I know you care, and it's part of my antidote. There's our guests, too. We'll see what's up with them. Yes, we'll see what's new and how our team has been. So sit back, prepare to interact. You do it so well. As we try to compact all of this knowledge we tell within our set time, but more likely will run long. But now it's showtime. Stay true, stay strong. Let's go, let's grow.
That was awesome. Thank you, Kimmer. We also have Brian Kenzer, who he's here. He shares with us Smart Living Today. And I'm going to share a word about using some American products. And I just want to tell you, I've seen a couple other people out there who've been on our show who, I think pretty highly of. And their message is similar, but here's a message from Brian.
Hi, I'm Brian, veteran, firefighter, patriot. I have a Memorial Day message about Made in America. You know, when I served, I left these borders, as many of you did, to protect the freedoms and liberties we have as Americans. I believe that if we don't stand up and fight for our way of life, someone else will be happy to take it away. I was made in America, so yes, that phrase means something to me. What do I do about it? Well, first I serve and protect the citizens of my community, putting their needs before mine. Service above self is what I call it. I also spend my hard-earned money on made in America products and services, the ones that support American manufacturers and American jobs and the families they provide for. What I don't do is spend my money at Amazon and Walmart, Costco, Target, and the dollar store, and the dozens of other retailers that fill their shelves with non-American made products, just because they're cheap and they're good for the shareholders' bottom line. For me, that's just a kick in the teeth to the brothers and sisters who have sacrificed for Made in America. So we have a little online store that makes many of the things that everyone consumes every day. And every one of those is made in America. We're very proud of that and would like to share it with you. We'll also help support the People's Patriot Project when you shop there. I'll put a link in the comments, and we'll have a few posts in the People's Patriot Project Facebook page in the coming weeks. So I hope you'll have a look. For those of you that have and that shop with us, thank you very much. You know, we all need stuff. And if you don't have time to look at our store or don't want to shop with us, that's fine. But show some respect for yourselves and for the brothers and sisters that gave everything to protect Made in America. And seek out Made in America products and services to spend your money on. Don't just go for cheap. Remember, you don't know them all, but you owe them all. One last thing. If enough people do this, our economy will improve without government regulation or handouts or stimulants. Remember where you were made, here in America. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for sharing. And I tried to send this on to some people I'm gonna expose, but our friend Topher, who is a musician, a veteran, and has been on the show a couple times, and his music is on our radio station. He sent nearly the same message earlier today on his reels, and I appreciate that. The message is the same. Let's shop in the USA. The People's Patriot Project, We Got Your 6 at 6, can also be heard on Reads Across America Radio on Tuesdays at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find the Reads Across America on the iHeartRadio app, Audacity app, the TuneIn app. Just search the word Wreath, or we do have a link here for you. That is Reads Across America, that great big around the country wreath placing and donating company that does that. I do want to throw out a big, huge thank you to our sponsors, our guests, and our viewers. I see you viewers out there. I will call out your names soon. Before starting this week's show, we do ask that you take off your hats, stand and cover your heart, and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag
of the United States of
States
America,
of America,
and to the republic for which it
stands
stands,
one
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 nation,
nation,
under God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty
with liberty
and justice
and
for all.
justice for all.
Booyah.
boom. Here we go. Put your hat on, Jonathan. Just kidding.
Oh, my bad.
I
This
need
is
to
my.
put my hat on. We are here. It is June. I almost slipped and said May because I guess I'm screaming to hold on to this year as it's flying by right now. Jonathan was so rude earlier to say, yeah, the year's about halfway over. And it is what it is, and we get her done regardless. And every day we get up, we kick the sand, and we make sure that the version of us today is better than the version of us yesterday. And that's what we're here. We got some amazing guests here tonight. We got Korey Shaffer. Good to see you, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me.
If you don't know the name, I bet you know the product. The product is Til Valhalla. And my question is, right off the bat, what came first, the mission or the t-shirt?
Yeah, for sure. The mission. This was never supposed to happen. This was not something that was planned. This wasn't a business plan. This wasn't something I set out to do. It was something I was called to do because, after I lost my buddy Dunstan and, I lost him by, to his own hand, and something didn't feel right, coming back from Afghanistan, and we knew what it was like to lose, and we've seen, many lose their lives. But at the end of the day, when someone fights and they kind of write that blank check, but they come home to lose the battle at home, something didn't sit right with me, knowing that there was never going to be anything to commemorate him, anything that was going to carry his legacy. And that goes for a lot of the guys and gals that we've lost. There's, it's almost like if you don't pass overseas, then the world kind of forgets about you. And, so when I got home and I was battling, with my own demons, and, I had post-traumatic stress disorder. I had several diagnoses of TBI. I became an alcoholic at 21 years old. And, I had all these things. And one day I just had to make a memorial for Dunstan. And when I did that, my buddies were like, okay, Korey, well, that's phenomenal, but what about the other guys? And I'm like, you're right. If you honor one, you have to honor them all. And then I didn't know where to draw the line, because when do you choose to stop honoring heroes? There was no line. So I just pushed forward with everything I had, and here we are today.
Well, first of all, again, thank you for being part of this. Is something that you started this in 2016. And
17 is 16 is when
Okay.
I lost Dunstan. 17 is when we were established. But yeah,
Okay.
mission did start technically in 2016 for sure.
Sure. And so we have a saying that says to remember is not enough. And I think that's I think that is not that I'm trying to
Yeah.
take your mission. That's exactly the piece that we spend too much time in my. Here, I'm going to get on my boxes for a second. We build a lot of memorials, gigantic stone memorials. We've got some here in Minnesota. Love going there, love remembering, love tributing, love this and that. And we've got brothers and sisters that are in need in our space in front of us right now. And you did something. I mean, unfortunately, you probably didn't know it. Probably wasn't written on the wall even. Lost a brother, and then you were like, you know what? We have to do more than just remember our brother. And so, first of all, I'd like to take a moment just to. We do have to say their names when we know them and see them, but Benjamin Dunstan was his name, and so just put that name on your tongue and whisper it real quick. And it definitely probably means more to Korey, but it's when you lose someone on your team close to you, it stings, and it's meant to sting, and that sting never goes away. We don't say sorry for your loss; we say with you, and that we are with you at this time, Korey. Thank you for your mission. Thanks for doing it. Thanks for being boots on the ground. So you started this memorial process.
Yeah.
How many of these have you handed out over the years?
Oh boy. Yeah. So as far as the ones that we have just hand delivered over the past couple of years is over 3,000. I believe we're at 3,100 at the moment. There are a multitude of memorials that have been either duplicated, made for other family members. There's been a multitude that I made in private for families before this became, a very forward-facing mission. So there's still quite a few that we haven't documented, but as far as that's on our wall of heroes currently right now, that's over 3,000 hand-delivered memorials.
What a blessing. What a blessing that is. So, and because of the mission, this is stirred on it's still the same mission, but it's stirred on other facets or cogs of the mission. Where have we been? What have we got done?
You mean like other ways of giving back?
Sure.
Yeah. So when I started making these memorials, right, like it felt great because we were going out and we were honoring, kind of like the oldest heroes first. Like, our job is to come in and remind families that there's a grateful nation that still remembers. So when you lose somebody up front, there's a lot of support, and there's support from the community, there's support from the family. But as the years go on, that support structure seems to kind of fade. So what I aimed to do in the beginning was to look back as far as I can and go back to Beirut, go back to Desert Storm, go back as far as I could and go find heroes that I could honor, because we all know time's limited, and I want to make sure that those families knew that we weren't going to forget before we lost that opportunity to remind them. So we kept going back really far, but at the same time my unit started struggling a lot, and we were losing a lot more guys than we had originally anticipated, or at least believed. We thought we were done, and it just kind of kept going. And I found myself in this predicament where, sure, I was telling myself, I'm like, Korey, you're doing a great thing for these families, but at the same time, you're not being proactive from stopping people from ending up on memorials in the first place. So I started the other thing to kind of flank this plague. I wanted to be there, for the ones that I felt like I personally failed, and I wanted to be there for the ones that hopefully, I could help them pull through. So Til Valhalla project became this multifaceted approach between making sure we can honor heroes and then making sure we can save heroes. And that has kind of guided our entire North Star. I mean, that's been our North Star the entire time. And now we're giving back in so many different ways, whether it's donating to other charities. We've donated, well over $1 million to charity. We've invested a lot of money in, US based labor, so I've invested almost $8 million just in US based labor. There's a lot of things that we're doing because now we're just trying to help as many people as we can. Like as a company, like we feel like it's our job to serve as hard as we can. So we are growing the memorial aspect, or growing the donation aspect. I've donate to RCPT, which is takes veterans out for static line jumping. I'm starting to spin up a little bit of a racing team kind of thing. I've been taking veterans out to track days. I've always loved cars since I was a little boy, and I have some vehicles that are really, really great vessels to take people out and help them kind of race away from their demons, so to speak. So I've been taking veterans out doing that. We've paid for funerals. We've done so many different things. We've supported just so many people in so many different ways. It's insane at this point. And we're doing nothing except for trying to grow that as aggressively as we can. So we have a place where families can come tour our facilities, and struggling veterans can come over here. They can work for us, or they can work with us. There's so many ways we're trying to tackle this thing, and I say right now it's been extremely successful. That's for sure.
I see success, and again, I've got some of your product line as well, and there's a quality to it. I love the fact that there's a flag on every sleeve, and I just love the fact that it's a proactive step. And I mean, I'm going to call you the tip of the spear in the fact that you're not talking about it, you're being about it, and it's one of the frustrating pieces is, in theory, that we have 46,000 organizations in our country saying they're helping veterans and first responders. And I mean, if we have 46,000 organizations, why are we losing 6,000 veterans a year to this suicide?
Yeah, it's not quantifiable too, right? Like,
no,
that's the thing about Til Valhalla project is I hated the idea of starting a company and then donating, right? It was like, okay, so if I became this company, right, let's say there's it's a great product and there's a lot of money coming into the mix. Well, if I start giving back by just stroking checks, then you never know how those checks are being distributed, what they're going towards, what people are saying they're going to. So I hated the idea of being like, oh yeah, I'll just create Til Valhalla project and I'll just start stroking checks to this organization, this one, and this one. And unfortunately, I've been bit in the butt before and recognizing what my cash wasn't going to the right places. But memorial is just undeniable. You can't. There's no throwing shade over that. Like, we are going out and we are knocking on families' doors and we are shaking their hands and we're hugging them and we're crying with them and we are saying their hero's name and we are remembering them. You can't really put a price on that. And that's been the thing that's kept the passion for this mission for so long, is it's like every experience is different and it's tangible and it's quantifiable. Even our donations that we do now for reducing veteran suicide, I work with Stop Soldier Suicide and a few other charities at the moment, but they're quantifiable. Like if I go, work with 22 Mohawks, I know, hey, I'm going to send you $3,000. That's going to get a dog for a veteran. Send me pictures when it happens. It's like they can give me those things. There's no BS. There's no, people lining their pockets. And like, that's what they're supposed to be. So I'm eerie of anything that you put money into that doesn't quantify your impact. And that's where TVP really came in and started focusing on like actually making a real difference, not saying we're making a difference.
Yeah, talking about it. I mean, not talking about it, being about it. And that's, I just started a little writing piece, and it came to my head, a lot of reflection recently. We're being a nonprofit ourselves is like, we always talk about being ready so we don't have to get ready. And then the asks come in. And sometimes the asks are people that are close to us that it's not that we don't want to give and help, because I tell the board, I'm like, you know what? If we had it, I have no problem giving it. Mm-hmm. Zero problem. As long as it's what you say is viable and that it fits the narrative of our mission. and our mission is to lighten the load. And so that covers the gamut. But my reflection recently is this: the hardest part of being a lifeguard. Now, the lifeguard is synonymous with being a first responder. The lifeguard is being synonymous with being a veteran and or a service member. These guys and gals train and are committed, and they are buying into the whole concept that if when things go south, I'm going to put myself in harm's way to go save these people. Well, now you got this nice sunny beach of life, and you've got all these people out there on this beach, and none of them have invested a thing into their safety, and they're going to run out and they're going to put themselves in a situation. Now the lifeguard is called to action. They jump into it without thinking twice, and they're going to go out into this water and try and save this person who is actually going to grab onto them and pull them down at some point. And I felt that piece in you get stung, you get tagged, you get pushed. How many times we've helped a veteran and we always ask, because we don't always put their stuff out there because they don't want the stigma. They want the anonymity, which I'm completely fine with. But I'm like, can you write us a brief little synopsis of how your life has been affected in this manner? And there's no give back. You know, we didn't get into this to get a give back, but at the same time, we didn't get into this to be drugged down. And I appreciate it. Since 2016, you've been through those pieces. You see what those pieces are. What outside of that, what are your biggest struggles right now? I mean, we always are doing the positive messaging, but let's hear what Mr. Shaffer's biggest struggles are in his mission.
Yeah, I was gonna say in my personal life or in my mission, because those are two different things. I think at this point,
feel free to share both if you're comfortable with it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, personally, I would say my personal struggles right now are time management, right? And I think a lot of people can resonate with the lack of time management. But I just had my first kid 6 months ago. He just turned 6 months, and
congratulations.
Thanks. I have Til Valhalla project that's growing. We're opening up so many facets, and we're doing so many things. I mean, we're roughly 80 people within our mission, and we're just trying to escalate everything. And my constant struggle is going to always be chasing the bigger dream. So if I'm not struggling, then something's really wrong. And struggle is when I find the best version of myself is, I can't be lax. I can't be tame. I have to always move that bar up. And, the second I hit a goal, you just got to set a bigger one and keep going and going and going and going. So I live in the state of struggle, and I idle at 100. So struggle isn't really a bad thing for me, but as far as difficulties, economies are a little bit, I think most people recognize where the economy is at right now, but I'm glad to see that support is still flowing in like normal. And it's the same thing during, COVID, like support kept coming, and because people kept seeing that we were still doing things, we never stopped. And even when the times were, seemingly impossible, we just kept moving forward. I mean, because that's what we do. And we keep putting out motivational T-shirts, and, we keep putting out T-shirts that pay tribute, and we keep putting out T-shirts that raise awareness. Like, those are the things that we do. And the beautiful part is it's been recognized, and it's getting recognized more and more. I mean, we just got our order to be in over half the Navy exchanges across the globe. We just got into 12 Coast Guard stores. We just got into 6 Harley Davidsons. Like, we're finally getting to the point where messaging and being positive is breaking through the ice of a predominantly negative environment, right? I mean, most of our stuff that we engage with on a daily is predominantly negative. So to go against the grain with the mission and what we're doing, it's always an uphill battle. So when you ask what the struggle is, it's like pushing, trying to convince people to be positive when there's so much negative. It's like that's been the struggle, and it will continue to be the struggle. But as of right now, it's really, really beautiful to recognize how many places out there are actually just tired of being negative and they want to change. And then they look at all these other brands and they go, well, they spend most of their time making cringy, weird stuff, and then you're over here trying to motivate and inspire people and pay tribute. Let's go on your side. So what's interesting is like you get to stick to your path and say, you know what, I believe in my heart of hearts that this is the right way to do. Like, and I make t-shirts for myself, and then it just so happens that people like them. And before I bring a t-shirt to market, I have a mental round table with the guys I lost, and I ask them, like, would you be proud of me putting this product out here? And if I get a yes, then it goes to market. If I get a no, it goes in the trash. I mean, because my job is to carry their legacy, but also help motivate and inspire people. I don't want to put out that t-shirt that makes a vet, take their lives. And I don't want to put out that t-shirt that makes somebody think that they're not worth it, or, that they need to carry a facade that is unnecessary. So yeah, long story short, though, is like, it's always going to be a struggle, but that's where the progress is. So no shame there.
Keep hanging with us. We're going to step into a kind of a break here. Mr. Crochet, you know what? We never did our news, brother. Let's do the song and then our news. Sometimes turn our microphone helps a little bit.
So I think now's a pretty good time to play this. Our friend Scotty Hastings just released a new song, and it's called Red, White, and Blue. Let's check it out.
Almost got all my things packed. Every picture that I had, every handwritten letter sent to me. My medal's polished on my chest, my uniform has just been pressed, my dress boots shine perfectly. I've been gone way too long. Send me home on a one-way flight. I'm coming back for good this time, to the place where I was born and raised. Send me home to my family and drape the flag right over me. Now that I've done all I can do, send me home under the red, white, know the moment my plane lands, I'll be with my mom and dad again. I hope that they'll be proud of me. We did our job, we paid the cost. Every one of us we lost. Remember this with every breath you breathe. Under the stars and stripes, freedom don't come free. Send me home on a one-way flight. I'm coming back for good this time, to the place where I was born and raised. Send me home to my family and drape the flag right over me. Now that I've done all I can do, send me home under the red, white, send me home on a one-way flight. I'm coming back for good this time, to the place where I was born and raised. Send me home to my family, wave the flag right over me. Now that I've done all I can do, send me home under the red, white, and blue. Send me home under the red, white, and blue. Under the red, white, and blue. Under the red, white.
That is Scotty Hastings, red, white, and blue. What? The good stuff. Phil Cook, good to see you, brother. Derek Iozzi out there with Catch 22. He still puts El Paso in there because I'll tell everyone he's from New Jersey if he doesn't. Jeremy Daniels, already did that. Dylan Petrie, good to see you, brother. Terry Daniels, good to see you. Amanda, always here. Love to see you. Thank you, dear. And Crystal, good to see you. Thanks all for showing up and commenting on the show and putting it out there. Jonathan, what do you got in the news, brother?
All right. June is National PTSD Awareness Month. In 2014, the Senate would designate the month of June as PTSD Awareness Month. The U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs was one of the forerunners in the fight against PTSD. Some of the earliest mentions of the disorder, which was obviously not yet named PTSD, dated back to 50 BC in poems that was written by, I'll butcher this, Hippocrates. The National Center for PTSD states that about 7 to 8% of the population will experience PTSD in their lifetime. Some experts say that it's normal to experience shivers, trembling after a traumatic event, as it's the body's natural way of releasing adrenaline. PTSD Awareness Month is a reminder of the strength of humans. Our minds have immense strength, and we also have limitations, but learning to recognize those limitations and work around them within our capacity shows just how strong we can be. We also have the strength to get better on our own. The road to recovery is different for everyone, but there is always a road for each of us. June 6th is the 80th anniversary of D-Day. D-Day will bring memories of the men and women who fought bravely in a strategic battle that would eventually lead to the end of World War II. American soldiers, along with Allied forces, would land on the beaches of Normandy, France, in an invasion that was codenamed Operation Overlord. It would begin the liberation of France and other areas of Europe from Hitler's regime. There would be 4,000 identified soldiers that would die on D-Day, with an estimated 5,000 more that were lost at sea, air battles, or otherwise not identified. The sacrifices of the soldiers that day would turn the tide of the entire Second World War. It happens to be one of my favorite pieces of history. I love reading about pretty much most things World War II, but this right here was just the Operation Overlord and the planning and deception and tactics that led up to this invasion was just always blows my mind, and I just love reading about it. But a fairly short week in news, as that is all I have.
Miss Kimmer, do you have something for us?
Let me unmute. There we go. I do. It's called By My Own Hands. If you were with us last week, I read 2 poems that I wrote. One was Ashes to Ashes and Dust to Dust that I wrote for my best friend to read at my funeral. And then the other one was Shimmer of Hope. So this one is By My Own Hands. By my own hands, I wanted to die, ready to say goodbye. Exactly what does that mean? It was planned, not for unforeseen. But since it was planned, I could save myself beforehand. It took strength and courage to stop that thought. I was severely distraught, but I was able to reach out before I could check out. I'm thankful that I was able because I was so unstable. Suicide is final. There's no coming back. On myself, that is the most evil attack. How could I disregard my life so? I had become my own foe. I'm still struggling, but that's life. Yes, I'm feeling my strife. I'm up for this challenge, I am. This is my life's plan. I will become strong and once again feel as I belong. But where to start? I need to know. Where's my shield, my ammo? It's inside. I need to dust it off and get ready for the playoff. No, this is not a game. I am worthy. I have a name. I am Kimmer. I possess more than just a shimmer. I can be what I want to be. Just watch, you'll see. By my own hands, I will heal. That is what I truly feel. I do have what it takes, no matter how much my mind and body aches.
Thank you for sharing your message, Kimmer. You're always a blessing.
For sure.
Thank you.
I had the greatest question of life ready for Mr. Shaffer, and it went poof. It was like it would have solved all life's problems and all life's issues, and it's now bye-bye.
And then I don't think it was the right question for me then, because I don't think I can solve those types of problems. But
what do you do for fun, brother?
Honestly, the past 7 years has been I don't really do much. I really just work on TVP because that's my passion. It's not really something I need a huge vacation from. I really, kind of get up and I get excited every morning about what we do. So I don't do a whole lot, but something that I do that I have started to incorporate, like I talked about earlier, is bringing the racetrack into things. So again, my dad was a master mechanic. I wanted to go to school, or I was going to school for engineering before I dropped out and started Til Valhalla projects. So I love engineering. I love building things. I love inventing. I love solving problems. TVP, was just something that needed to be invented to solve, a big problem that I saw. So the track, again, has been probably the most fun thing that I've done. And we do that once a month. Actually, this month on the 20th, we're going out. We're doing the Daytona 500. And then the week after that, we're going to the regular racetrack. And what I'm trying to do currently is bring a lot of the families of the heroes that we've already honored out. So that way, like, the families can lay down a brick at our facility and they can get their hero's name etched in a wall and all sorts of things and help us build memorials and stuff. So we're trying to create a 3-day experience right now for all these families. So that way they truly know that their hero is, still being honored, still being remembered. And I'm just finding ways to incorporate the things that I like into it.
How can we be supporting Til Valhalla?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways to support, and just because of that multifaceted approach here. So even just wearing our T-shirts and wearing things that resonate with you is, of course, a great way to support us. But we're hoping that it's more beneficial to you in the long term. That's really it. Like, either that, becoming a legacy guardian, coming to our facility, volunteering to help make memorials, or to help facilitate the memorials. Or if you guys have heroes that you would like honored and you have enough information, then go on our website and submit for that hero to be honored, because we honor every hero that comes through our portal, as long as they're not guilty of a capital crime or something, right? That they're not a mass murderer or something. We honor all heroes, and no matter how they passed. And it's not a matter of if we honor the hero, it's just when.
The algorithms must be, they have to be here, because I'm on my page right now, Facebook, and like legitimately, I wish we could set this up where I can just show what's on our screen, but I didn't go search this. This is just right in our space.
Yep.
That is one sexy bracelet. I don't know where you got that amazing branding from, but I'd like to think it came from someplace. But I love it.
Yeah, I just design things that I need. It's really anytime I feel like I need something, like we have our new T-shirt, "Don't let the hard days win." It was just a day that I was struggling. I just felt like I was kind of getting kicked down, and it doesn't matter. A lot of people like to look at life or success or whatever. I've been extremely fortunate in these years, and but people think that it's the problems go away, and they don't. I mean, if anything, they get worse because you feel more and more responsible for you just feel more and more responsible. I mean, with that, I just want to serve as much as I can before they throw dirt on top of me. So, again, I still have those tough days, and, saw the hard days, saying, and was like, or I saw something similar and modified it. And, that T-shirt has been absolutely crushing it. And it's like, how many people right now in a tough economy, in a tough world, really needs to hear that message? And like, that's what I love about T-shirts. It's just, they can impact so many people at one time. And when you talk about, donating to people individually, right? It's like, I can only donate so many dollars before the bank account runs dry. And, I have to either keep working to save up another stockpile, or you got to modulate it, or so on and so forth. But you can sell as many T-shirts as you want and change and impact as many people as you want without, limits. And that's why I love, us being the apparel company. Apparel wouldn't have been my first choice, but I recognize that there's a huge impact with what we wear and the mindset we keep ourselves in every time we get up in the morning. So, again, making T-shirts is a pain in the ass. I mean, I think anybody with a bigger company will tell you that making T-shirts is not an easy task, but I think it's necessary. So,
Korey, you can sell as many T-shirts as you want.
Mm-hmm.
When I try and sell T-shirts, I give them away, and it doesn't work for us. And I haven't figured that mathematics out yet, because we get great T-shirts in. It's like, oh yeah, hand these out to everybody, and I'm sure
make T-shirts. You got to make T-shirts that, like a little piece of marketing advice, right? Like you saw, like I'm over there on ads all the time. It's I sell products that will sell without the mission. Okay, so I don't rely on our mission to say, listen, we do this for families of fallen heroes and we help reduce veteran suicide, so please buy my T-shirt. I make a T-shirt that you have to have because it hits you in your soul, in your heart, like you need that. And I make that, and then when people come in, I say, by the way, check out what we do, and that's what makes it happen. So lead with the impact that you can make to the individual first, not the whatever you have going on. Like, try to help them solve their problem, and in turn they'll hopefully help you solve your problem. So that's my philosophy here. So got to make things that people want. Yeah.
So every week typically we have two guests on here. Usually we have a musician on, and then we have a boots on the ground organization. We call you a boots on the ground organization.
Cool.
You're out kicking the dirt, making it happen. And we always have some kind of, for lack of a better word, and I'm going to get mushy gushy here, some kind of romantic attraction, or something magical happen on the show. I'm going to tell you right now, Korey, it's happening for me to you only in the fact that you're talking about some of the key components that I've just recently been struggling with. That just recently, I'm like, gosh. I wake up every day, I give. And again, I didn't do this to receive anything, but when does my bucket get filled a little bit? I need someone to fill my bucket. And then it's like, bucket's not getting filled. What do I do now? Yeah, you get up, you keep working, because we know that we've got people out there counting on us to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can't let go of this mission. I can't let go of the opportunity. And then I get a little meme that comes across my desk and says, you know why people aren't successful? Because they quit when things get hard. And I'm like, gosh, dang it. You can't hit me on the beak with that stuff. Okay, here we go. Gotta get back to the computer, start working again. And it's just, I don't know. I needed to lift up. I don't know why, where, or how I got to this pace. I'm in that dark spot, but I mean, and I'm not the guy that shares misery. And again, I don't need. So we're gonna get to our call of action here in a little bit. And I appreciate when brothers and sisters reach out and say, hey, with you, thinking about you, this and that, because it's something we ask people to do. And that's not the pieces. Some people need that. I'm not the one that needs that. And I don't share my misery with anybody.
Yeah.
I eat it myself. I digest it myself, and I take care of it myself. But again, I needed this minute tonight. Thanks, Korey.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Well, if you ever need anything, you got my number. So
I do now. It was hard to get, but geez, come on.
I know, man. It's hard. I keep that thing on lock. That's for sure.
Well, I think it's always kind of little. So we ask a lot of guests to come on, and the first thing that comes out of my mouth, hey, can I get your email and your phone number so we can communicate? That's got to sound a little weird in today's world, and I totally get it. So it's like, let's build it a little bit, and again, we got to where we needed to, and we thank you for taking your time and doing this. Jonathan, what we got next, brother?
Next, we play this song a decent amount. It's a fantastic song, fantastic artist. But this song was just nominated for awards up at the, I want to say, Best Music Video. I don't have the information in front of me at the moment, but it was just nominated for awards at the Josie Awards. This is Shannon Book with Dear Mom.
Dear Mom, I had a few minutes to write down what's itching inside my mind. It's been too long since we have talked about nothing at all. Wish I could call. I know you're lost. Please don't you worry. There's no need to hurry. Just stay strong. It won't be long before we're together, right here in heaven. I miss you, Mom. Dear Mom, please believe I've done everything I needed to. Dear Mom, I'll be there when you breathe and while you're
That is Shannon Book, Dear
I
Mom.
have to apologize. I knew this from the last time we played it, and I forgot to swap it out. We're sitting here talking about how Dear Mom was nominated, and somebody found the information and put it in here. It was nominated for Social Impact Music Video of the Year. Anyways, the video is phenomenal, and if you got a time, go type in Shannon Book Music, Dear Mom on YouTube and watch the music video. It is well worth the 4 minutes you're going to spend watching it. You'll probably watch it again and spend 8 minutes, but it's great, man. It's well deserving of the nomination.
Mr. Martini made that video. Just an amazing veteran supporter, and many characters in that video are Gold Star mothers, friends of combat, and just they did an amazing job putting it all together. And if you know, you know. If you're engaged and you're close and you know what's happening, it is. Shannon Book does a great job with his team, and gosh, we're so blessed. We're so blessed. What is next for Til Valhalla?
What's next for TVP? So we're gonna keep moving forward with finding new ways to carry legacies. So we've been meeting with a lot of individuals and different organizations to find ways to not only like after we deliver, so we deliver the memorial, but then after we're trying to build another support structure for these families that allow them to keep coming back in honor of their hero. So that's something we don't currently have right now. So, you know, we find the family, we find somebody to hand deliver that memorial, and we have that beautiful moment, but we're looking for that continuous impact, working with organizations and seeing, hey, what can we do? How can we have them keep coming back? How can we remind them until we can't anymore that we will never forget their heroes' sacrifice? So that's the next biggest stage for TVP. And we have so many things that are coming out towards the end of this year as far as ways to create more impact. I mean, I even have my book that's going to be published in September for Suicide Prevention Month. We have so many different facets that we're just tackling to see how many people we can help in our short amount of time on this planet. So yeah, we have a lot of great things coming. Thanks for asking.
Keep doing it, man. Keep getting it done. I think a lot of times we hear the story of our fallen and hear the story of the ones that have fallen after they came home and hear the ones that haven't come all the way home. We forget the ones that didn't sign up for the mission, the families, the loved ones, the brothers, the sisters, the fathers, the mothers, the spouses. And again, they are a pivotal part of the mission. We thank you. We thank you for the glue that you are, that held this all together, and maybe not held it as much as you wanted to and we wanted it to. But thank you, brothers and sisters. You are part of the mission, and we lift you up and hold you tight, man. What's the line in? I'm going off into a bad space because I'll have to use my brain to remember stuff. So we'll stop doing that real quick. Till you can't. There's a line in there. If you're gonna hold them long, hold them tight, hold them strong, and it just that's what we need to do. And so till you can't. Hopefully that's a long time from now. Mr. Kinzer, did you want to share any more about your mission and what you got going on, brother?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought I was just going to be eye candy today.
Well,
I'd be very remiss. Yeah, I'd be very remiss if I didn't speak my mind to Korey. Korey, I'm sad that I'm not familiar with your operation and your mission, but I will make sure that I am down the road. And I have to say, we all hear the number 22 a day. In my community of less than 100,000, we had 27 last year, and that's just not acceptable. And a lot of people are just talking the talk about it, saying, yeah, somebody's got to do something about it. but you are do something about it. You're walking the walk, and I respect the hell out of that.
I appreciate it.
That's my mission too. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I spend most of the weekend sailing and enjoying the freedoms that people before me made sure I had. And I think sometimes we got to remember that those were given to us by others, and we got to appreciate them and accept them. And that's my thing. I feel like talking the talk is one thing, but walking the walk is another. So you've heard me say that many, many times, and I'm trying to do that on my end, and I'm happy to see when other folks do it as well.
100%. Got to live a life worth their sacrifice, right?
Absolutely.
Well, and we didn't get to our pledge today. And not a good thing, not a bad thing. It is just what it is. We get busy and get tied up in it. But we know why we get to do this. We know why we get to sit here and run our mouths, tell our opinions, share. We know why we get to do this podcast. We know why we get to decide what we put on our pancakes. We get to decide that because of the men and women who've gone before us as veterans, as service members, and as our first responders. So if you get the chance, I mean, I want to tell you, again, don't need to sit here and talk about my struggles all day long, but we lost another police officer this week in Minneapolis. And I had this whole concept and idea of doing this tribute to him to open the show. And I am less because I didn't do it, but at the same time, I was not in the space to get extra stuff done today. And it's when is enough, man. This is it's not a political thing, people. It is morons with guns out there doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. That's not political. Sorry, it's off the table. Fix the problem. Education. And we need to start taking care of, that's a whole nother conversation. Anyway, I apologize. But we know why we get to do this. Thank you to the service members and first responders that have committed their time, sweat, blood, limbs, family, and life to give us the freedoms that we have that allows us to do what we do daily. Lets us lay our big fat heads on the pillows of freedom every single day without us really wondering how or why we get to do it. Thank you for all those that have served. And again, thank you to those that were the ones that were not part of the mission and or didn't ask to be part of the mission. So, Miss Eichmann,
Yes,
we're
sir.
kind of at that closing point. You ready to roll with what we got going on in the next week?
Yes, I am. Although I just had to go get my pen because I was a little behind the 8 ball on that one, trying to pick my spot in the kitchen today.
I got one for you if you need it.
Thank you very much. Is it green?
This one's not.
Not green. Dang it.
No. Is yours?
Yeah, that's green.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Actually, it's kind of crazy. It's from the bar downtown called the Busted Nut.
Don't talk like that.
I know, right? You used to get to eat peanuts there, and then COVID came. So, Jonathan, I also wanted to add.
Got it.
Yeah. We got tornado wind in our place. I wasn't swearing. I wasn't even swearing.
We don't talk like that. Children might be watching.
With no drinking, there's also no swearing today. This day in 1865, the Civil War ended as well. That's a bit of cause for celebration, I think, too. So I wanted to add that. And then I didn't have a pen to write it down. Korey said something amazing. Something about not being strong when it's tough. Dang it. Thank you, Jeremy Daniels. I am a squirrel. I have squirrel moments. Do I have next week's guest? Oh my gosh, Eichmann. I do. Tell you what's coming up. We have some big things coming up with Reads Across America. Apparently I say that in a weird way because My phone can't understand it. Reads Across America next weekend. So in about a week and a half, actually, it's Thursday through Saturday at Mall of America. There are events with Reads Across America Radio, and that will include Mr. Peterson and the People's Patriot Project broadcasting from Mall of America for the People's Patriot Project. I think it's going to be kind of cool and kind of fun and kind of busy, cool stuff going on. We have also our show, which I mentioned earlier, on Reads Across America on Tuesdays at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 10 p.m. Central Time. Korey, are you Central Time?
No,
Florida.
I'm on the East Coast, yeah.
Eastern as well. Okay. Very cool. And then next week we have Lance Price and the gang from SFH. And most of you will know what that stands for, SFH. And they're a company that, you know what, you're going to have to listen. There's a lot to them. But they are a company that employs tons of I have to say the way he said it. Well, you're going to have to watch the show. I clearly was not ready to share. Tomorrow I'll be ready. Jeremy will be on another podcast on Tuesday. Jeremy Daniels is an amazing fan who's here every week, who keeps us on our toes. And shoot, I guess we started out with emotional volleys right away today. So thank you for being here, Jeremy, and we will get that information out there. Korey, thanks for being on here tonight. What an honor, what a pleasure.
Thank you guys for all having me, for sure.
Absolutely. I love hearing about all the background stuff. And okay, so I can order t-shirts and that's easy, and I have some, but there's so much more to it that I appreciate knowing all of that. Now, probably I don't know all of it, but yeah. So tomorrow we'll be here at 4:30 Central Time with our little debrief, and I promise to be way more organized. I got a little distracted. We got tornado warnings happening right in the area.
For real?
For real. It's a little south of here, but
Wait, aren't you in the basement already?
no, today I'm not.
Okay.
I know, right?
Jeez. I'm going to have to
Normally.
watch news. There ain't no tornadoes down there.
It's nowhere near you. You're like way up there.
Jonathan, what do you got in closing, brother?
I'll go last if I can. It kind of goes in with the last.
You want to go last? You're just going to
Yeah.
throw it out there? Okay. Kimmer, what do you got in closing?
Well, thank you, Korey. I really enjoyed hearing about your mission.
I appreciate it. I see you wearing the gear right now, so thank you so much for showing the support, for sure.
You're welcome. This next poem is I'm back on my healing avenue. Here I am getting ready to go. 4 appointments. I got to go with the flow. A long day, that's for sure. No time for any detour. This is what it takes to manage my health, which we know is one's only true wealth. So I can't complain. It's the best for me. Will I feel any better? We shall see. But I'm back on my healing avenue. What steered me off, I haven't a clue. But it was dark, but it was deep and dark. And now I'm ready to re-embark. A better life than what I had before. I'm really ready to soar. I know there will be turbulence. I'm not that naive. But that's okay, because in myself I believe. Let's do this and do it right. I'm so ready for this fight. I am no longer my foe. So come on, life. Let's grow.
Let's grow. You get the distinct pleasure, Mr. Korey, to have your final thoughts after Miss Kimmer. So good luck with that one.
I'm sorry. What did I miss? What did you say?
It's your turn for final thoughts.
Final thoughts. What is the segment? Just
yeah. How are you inspired, or what? Again, you can talk about what's next. You already did that, but you can talk about how something that's inspired you lately and what you're what are we going out on?
Yeah, something that's inspired me lately. My son, that's obviously, I'm 31 years old, and just having my first kid in the midst of this. I put my entire life, my wife and I put our entire life on hold, for the past 7 years to make this mission come to fruition. I mean, we had not taken a single day off between, losing many friends, losing my father at 49 years old to colon cancer, losing my, support dog. And, I was in such a bad headspace that I wasn't allowed to lift my head from work, because I always tell myself an idle mind is where the demons creep. So I stay ahead of them, and I'm always, I get up in the morning when my feet hit the ground, I'm always running from them. And that's what keeps me going, so to speak. But having my son born has been the biggest shift from running from something to looking forward, and looking forward as far as I could see, like developing a legacy, developing things within these walls that will make him proud when he's older. And, now every action I take is just a little bit different. It's never really been about me, but now it's so crystal clear that the time that's left on this earth is all about serving people, serving him, and doing as much as I can. So, having him in this mix has just been an insane drive. And, people here within these walls of TVP will tell you, like, Korey's changed, but it's been crazy, because we're going, we're making these bigger changes. Now I have a whole new level of empathy for these families, watching these families look at these memorials, for the first time. And I can put myself at least partially in their shoes and understand, like, dude, I could never. And, so that's what's inspiring me right now. And, that's why I've accomplished more in 6 months than I have in a long time. And it's been great. It's been phenomenal.
That is awesome. Mr. Kinzer, and I got something I want to reflect on that, but I'll let Mr. Kinzer go with his final thoughts.
Okay, I'm going to echo one more time that we don't know them all, but we owe them all. So to that end, make sure you're enjoying the freedoms that others gave all for, Make sure you appreciate the freedoms that we have, appreciate the things that we have, and make sure you seek out and buy Made in America at all costs.
Thank you, Brian. Korey, it's those little ones that do change a little bit of the perspective, and it makes a lot of sense to me why there's a new value to your mission because of bringing life into this world. And I remember in 2001, my daughter was born on August 3rd. I had a son born a year earlier on August 2nd. And none of this becomes as impactful until September 11th comes along. And I'm teaching school in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. And it is an hour-long drive. Now, the events of the day have happened. I still have to coach a football game that day, still have to get through the day of school. Not all schools shut down and dropped everything immediately. I was in the military at the time as well, and I have an hour-long drive from Brooklyn Center to Hutchinson, Minnesota. And my thoughts at that point were, how did I bring children into this world? And I was like, yeah. Because we didn't know all the stuff then. And even now we do know, it still doesn't change my thoughts at that point. Fast forward 22 years, I have a fister in the military and a young lady who wanted to go into the medical world. And it is the values you instill and put into the people in your life. And keep it running, brother. This mission is true. It's solid. It's getting it done. And I have no doubt that there's going to be just a ton of success for you and your family because of this. And I know that's not the byproduct you were looking for. Your byproduct was making a difference, and we appreciate you. Our call to action tonight, brothers and sisters, Everyone has a device in their presence, and we do it every week. And I hope the people listening are doing it. It is and will save lives. And some people, and I wanted to do the short version, but I'll trickle into the longer version. We got people that come on and want to do push-ups to bring recognition. We got people that want to go ruck march to bring recognition. I get it. Go do your thing. And for those naysayers that say push-ups don't do a thing, keep your opinion to yourself. It doesn't matter. If you're not doing anything, it doesn't matter anyway. Bottom line, first part of this call to action is, what are you doing? Get off the couch. Go do something. Be part of something bigger than yourself. The other part is, we ask you to do it by a 6-pack. Type in, I was just thinking about you. Copy it, paste it into 6 of your contacts in your phone, and send it. And just say, I'm just thinking about you, man. That's all it has to be. That's it. If it spurs the conversation, amen. If it doesn't spur a conversation, guess what? Tomorrow you can do 6 more. Keep doing it. I will ask you, and we kind of jokingly make fun of this a little bit, but I ask you to take one of those relationships that you think is the hardest relationship that you've lost, in the fact that maybe there was a misunderstanding. Maybe you're just full of yourself at that time, and reach out to that one person. Now, the joking matter, it doesn't have to be an ex-wife or boyfriend or girlfriend or any of that. Reach out to that one relationship that you damaged somewhere along in your life and just say, hey, I was just thinking about it. The crazy thing is, everyone's thinking about someone right now because I planted that seed. Take it one step further and send that message. Because there might be a chance sometime in life you will never have that chance to say it again. It might be on your part, it might be on their part. I challenge you. Jonathan, it's yours, bro.
Mr. Korey, thank you for coming on. I knew about the Til Valhalla project, garments and gear, but I was not clear on the mission, and that's definitely something that I feel like I can get behind and support. So thank you for coming on and sharing the mission with us, and we appreciate you for being active and having a mission and not just selling a product, for sure.
Yeah. No problem, brother.
Something that I wrote down is often, and I've said it before, but oftentimes when you're going through those tough times, you kind of feel like the weight of the world's all on you, right? And I'm not speaking to buckets being half full or half empty or nothing like that. I've been there, and you feel like it's on you. You're taking it upon yourself to make sure everybody else around you is still good, while still trying to find the time, strength, and courage to dig yourself out of where you're at. And it's a lot of weight. And I'm not saying we're all in the same boat. Some people got a center console. Some people got console on the side. Some people sitting on a bucket in the back with a handle on the motor. You know, some people are on a sailboat. But the point is we're all trying to navigate the same waters, and eventually we'll all come across each other at some point. And, you know, your boat may need a tow. My boat may need a tow. We'll hook up. We'll make it through. We'll get there together. Never alone. Plenty of people on the river. And that leads me to the last song of the night, which is from our good friend Chris Turner, who, unfortunately, we don't have it yet, but there's a new EP coming out. But this is one of his old ones, and it is called All in the Same Boat.
It's a daily grind. It's almost enough to make you lose your mind. Just when you get a good grip, it slips right through your fingers. Finally find a little honey, then you get above water. One day we're soaking up the sun, sailing in the breeze, drinking margaritas and kicking up our feet. Then we start thinking we're sinking, we can't plug all the holes, running around in circles trying to keep our world afloat. Ain't we all in the same boat?
Yeah, you know I'm in the same boat with you, bro. Go on, slide me a paddle, let me get downstream. I said, Lord have mercy, got us feeling like a chump. Now we're dumping all our dollars while we're crying at the pump. Clear across the nation, it's as crazy as can be, but my kinfolk know how to cope down here in Tennessee. Yeah, we're still honking, getting cold ones by the case. Ain't no inflation gonna change the way this country boy was raised. So we're still
soaking up the sun, sailing in the breeze, drinking margaritas and kicking up our feet. Then we start thinking we're sinking, we can't plug all the holes, running around in circles trying to keep our world afloat. Ain't we all in the same boat?
Oh, come on now.
Help, we all need a little help. Love, when that water gets rough. Days, when those clouds get dark and gloomy, we're just trying to keep it all between the buoys.
Oh, look out now. Here we go.
Yeah, we're soaking up the sun, sailing in the breeze, sipping margaritas, ain't worried about a thing. And we start thinking we're sinking, we can't